Hi. First and foremost, I have no idea where that book is, but I'm about to find it. I'm sorry about this. I'm very pissed off. I'm arguing with customer service on Wish. I might as well just go to Asia and start speaking English. The book. I'm not sure what chapter I'm on. I'm not sure where the book is. But I'm gonna go downstairs swiftly and return. Hashtag swiftly. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 fucking stairs. God, I hate everyone. Credit card, obviously. The fuck do you mean? You sons of bitches. God damn it. You know what? I am pregnant. Me. Fuck did I say? I want a refund. I want a refund. I want a refund. I want a refund. Like, I'm sorry. Am I speaking foreign language? All right. My bad, y'all. Whew. Yeah, I'm on chapter 28. All right. Sorry. 6:45. Not too bad. Chapter 28. The Wedding. Ivy's wedding day dawned bright and clear, with the sort of jewel-toned October sky that's bluer than any other. Everyone remarked on their luck with the weather, but as the day progressed, gray clouds began to gather above the Winthrop house, threatening a storm. Why would I want Wish credit? Why would I ever make a purchase with you again? I'm so sorry. Ivy's father chuckled when he saw the changing sky. He would have thought the cranes were rich and powerful enough to scare off even the clouds. Maybe they would, too. They're going to close this chat so hard. I'm going to start over. I'm sorry. Bitch. I'm going to screenshot the fuck out of this shit. Bitch ass shit. Got me fucked up. I was wild out. And I didn't even curse on here. I was just cussing a lot. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise. Fucking dude. Got me fucked up. All right. I'm going to just start over real quick. Better not be playing with me neither. Ivy's wedding day dawned bright and clear, with a sort of jewel-toned October sky that's bluer than any other. Everyone remarked on their luck with the weather, but as the day progressed, gray clouds began to gather above the Winthrop house, threatening a storm. Ivy's father chuckled when he saw the changing sky. He would have thought the cranes were rich and powerful enough to scare off even the clouds. Maybe they would, too, he mused. But just in case, he personally delivered his giant golf umbrella to the trunk of the stretch limousine, waiting to take Ivy and him to Harmony's white steepled church. Harrison then climbed the staircase to find his lovely daughter sitting on the same quilt that had covered her bed since she was a little girl. Her white bridal skirt spread out around her like a cloud beneath an angel. Most of her personal items had already been packed up and transported to the Crane mansion, where she'd be living from now on. Yet, despite being dressed for the occasion of her marriage, Ivy appeared far from ready to go. She was simply sitting there, on her bed, gazing longingly at the inside of a small antique locket, which hung around her neck. Yeah, you was all my motherfucking issue. Fuck you, man. The Crane pearls, priceless family heirlooms that Catherine Crane had sent over this morning, were still sitting untouched on Ivy's dressing table because she's in love with Sam and she's a stupid bitch for marrying that idiot. God, she's stupid for marrying Julian Crane. She's so stupid for marrying Julian Crane. Julian Crane is stupid for not fucking dating fucking Eve, or at least paying attention to her pregnancy. And she's stupid too. Fucking dumb bitch. Her elaborate cathedral-length veil was still hanging from a hook on the back of the bedroom door. Harrison Winthrop approached his daughter quietly, his fists clenched. He knew very well whose photo was inside that locket, and he couldn't even guess how many times Ivy had gazed at it when she thought he wasn't looking. What in heaven's name had this Sam done to gain such a hold on his daughter, thought Harrison, even now on her wedding day. Hearing her father approach, Ivy glanced up and quickly snapped the locket shut, her face blushing pink at being caught in her daydreams. It's natural to be nervous, Ivy, said Harrison after he'd taken a few deep breaths to calm his upset. And when we're nervous about the future, we often long for the past. I know, Father. Harrison sat down next to Ivy and took her hand. Julian loves you, honey. Yes, he's told me often. So why don't you take that locket off now? It's time. Ivy nodded as her father moved to pick up the crane pearls. Come, let me fasten these on you. Sadly, Ivy unclasped the locket, pulled it from her neck, and placed it in the top drawer of her bureau, along with the best of her childhood memories. Then she shut it. For the sake of her own happiness, Harrison hoped it was for good. Sam wore his best and only blue suit, a blue and gray striped tie. He'd shaved so close this morning that he nearly cut his throat. Then again, seeing as he knew what day it was, maybe he'd wanted to. The Crane and Winthrop families had invited every important family in the region, and Harmony's church was completely packed. Sam Bennett, of course, had not been invited, but he had shown up just the same. It was easy for him to sneak inside. The church's side door had a busted lock. The pastor preferred to keep it that way. Sam had known that from his years delivering pizza to the Reverend's Wednesday night poker game in the church basement. Slipping into the end of a crowded pew on the groom's side, he inhaled and exhaled deeply, trying to dispel his nervousness. When the strings and harp began to play, Sam rose with the rest of the congregation. He watched bridesmaid after bridesmaid traipse down the aisle, a parade of pale violet. Then finally came Ivy. What's wrong with me? Her dress was a fairy queen cloud of white ruffled satin and intricate designs with pearls and tiny diamonds stitched to fine white netting that wrapped her shoulders. A pearl encrusted headpiece graced her golden hair, and a long veil spread out around her like the half-closed wings of a perched dove. Sam gripped the back of the pew in front of him, gripped it so hard his knuckles went pale. If any man knows a reason why these two should not be joined, let him speak now or forever hold his peace. Sam bit the inside of his cheek. He wanted to cry out, was ready to, but then he closed his eyes and saw her again. The vision he dreamed so many times before. Ivy gliding down that aisle, so beautiful, so resigned. This is what she wants. Sam reminded himself. It's what she's chosen. The union of husband and wife in heart, body, and mind is intended by God for their mutual joy. Sam was aware of the minister's voice, quoting from the Book of Common Prayer, aware that the ceremony was continuing forward, but for the next half hour, all sound became a muddled backdrop to the vision of Ivy before him now. The vision of innocence in white. And then came her voice. I, Ivy, take you, Julian, to be my husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, until we are parted by death. This is my solemn vow. Sam closed his eyes. If there was a pain worse than this, he'd never felt it. He had thought it would be okay coming to see this, thought he needed it for closure, to get it out of his system forever, so he would never think about her again, but he was wrong. He shouldn't have come. He wanted to stand up, slip out the side door again, but he couldn't. He was too devastated, and his body felt paralyzed. He sat there through the exchange of rings and some music, then finally came the minister's affirmation. I now pronounce you man and wife. Those whom God has joined together, let no man put asunder. I've got to get out now, Sam realized, for my own sanity. He rose to his feet just as the couple turned to face the packed wooden pews. For a moment, Sam was the only one standing. He saw Ivy's head turn toward him, and his heart dropped. Her blue eyes locked with his. Sam is here. Ivy was stunned, unable to think, unwilling to breathe. She read his big blue eyes, saw the emotion there, longing, confusion, pain. My God, why did he come? But the question no sooner flashed through her mind than he'd answered it. Be happy, Ivy. She saw him mouth the words. Then the Cranes guessed these are not real people. It's not you. She saw him mouth the words. Then the Crane's guests rose around him, swallowing him up. Ivy felt her new husband by her side. He was taking her limp arm, wrapping it around his own, coaxing her to step down with him from the altar. Ivy, are you all right? She could hear Julian's whispering voice, but she couldn't answer. Sam is here. Sam came. Her maid of honor was pressing the weight of her elaborate cascade bouquet back into her small hands. Faces were smiling and laughing. Hands were clapping. Applause thundered through the church, greeting the minister's presentation of Mr. and Mrs. Julian Crane. Then Ivy felt herself being propelled forward past rows and rows of people, her sorority sisters, his law school buddies, the country club gang, her family's political acquaintances, his family's business associates. Sam, you came to the church. Why? With all her heart, she wanted to turn back, but the crowd was too thick. And no matter how hard she tried, they wouldn't let her find him again. The guest list for the Winthrop Crane wedding was an exclusive roll call of prominent personages, captains of industry, important government officials, and old money families. Among the few locals who were invited was, of course, Tabitha Lennox, Harmony's quintessential queen of clairvoyance. Mrs. Crane felt compelled to invite her after receiving the wedding gift she'd sent over to the happy couple. Stops for a martini. Timmy assures you, dear reader, Tabby really had to work some magic to get on the A-list of this exclusive party. A priceless antique mirror and frame. The piece was quite something. An appraiser called it museum quality. And Catherine felt that the woman from town who'd sent it, although the Cranes really didn't know her that well, should absolutely be invited to the wedding and reception. When the ceremony was over, Tabitha drifted to the back of the church with the other well-dressed guests. As she glided through the receiving line, Catherine Crane grasped her hand with a gentle squeeze. I must thank you, miss, for the beautiful mirror and frame. Oh, you're quite welcome, replied Tabby. You know, I've been looking into that old thing for so very long now. I wouldn't be surprised if Julie and Ivy peered into it one day and saw my face looking right back at them. Mrs. Crane chuckled, but it was a strange sort of laugh, as if she clearly sensed that there was something truly odd about this woman. Martini. Truly odd. Now that's an understatement. Actually, Tabby first enchanted that particular antique mirror for Rasputin, one of her many erstwhile suitors. Apparently, he used it to spy on the Russian imperial family. After Tabitha had finally helloed, and you must be so happy, her way through the exceedingly large wedding party line, she found herself standing on the church's front lawn. There, she was delighted to spot a little golden-haired flower girl spinning in circles on the grass, dancing to music only she could hear. Across the churchyard, a little black-haired boy seemed entranced as he gazed at the girl, who had been dressed in violet ruffles to match the bridesmaids. Tabitha laughed when Pilar Lopez Fitzgerald was forced to take the little boy by the hand and pull him, kicking and screaming, toward the parked cars. That's all right, little Louise, whispered Tabby. You've seen her before, and you'll see her again, I guarantee it. Oh, I am sorry that I just cried through that whole thing, but I guess I'm emotional.